All right, good Thursday evening, everyone. We are live. We have some more severe weather to cover and then heavy rainfall as well across some of the southern plains. We have severe weather getting its way into parts of Louisiana this evening as well. There's been some tornado warnings down that way and some severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll go over that here in just a little bit. But first, please click that like button, share this with your friends and family, and comment where you're from. Also, if you have been missing my posts on Facebook, I put a post on Facebook yesterday about why you're not getting notifications. There's some tools over there. If you search my page, go back to yesterday's post. It'll show you what to do. You can click basically make Snow or Bob your favorite, and then click all for like lives for notifications, all for notifying every time we post, stuff like that, because people are still not seeing when we go live and when we post content on Facebook. So we're having some big issues over there, especially with all this nasty severe weather we've been having over the past, seems like months, across a lot of the area, especially across the southern plains up towards Iowa over the, like I said, past couple months. So, all right. So we have a lot of stuff to go over this evening. So here is the latest severe weather outlook across the area for the rest of tonight into early tomorrow morning. So basically, enhanced risk from Midland, Texas, Odessa to Big Spring over towards Andrews, Texas. Slight risk for Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, and some of this risk is actually spreading a little bit further east. This is a 3 o'clock update at from the Storm Prediction Center. So severe threat with a possibility for wind damage and hail will likely continue this evening across parts of the southern plains and central high plains. Hailstones of greater than 2 inches in diameter, isolated tornado threat, and will be possible across parts of West Texas. Marginal severe threat is expected to continue for a couple more hours in parts of the mid Missouri Valley as well. So that is just today's outlook. Let me try to refresh this real quick. Actually, it just updated. They just updated this just a few minutes ago. So actually, the slight risk has expanded into parts of Louisiana. So, like I said, there has been a few tornado warnings over that way, and some wind damage and stuff like that. There has been numerous more power outages across the area, across Texas, heading into Louisiana over the next few days. So here's the latest risks for tonight. Tornado outlook. The green is 2 to 4% probability of a tornado within 25 miles at any given point, and basically the bullseyes back here in western Texas, from like Lubbock to just west of St. Angelo to Midland. 5 to 9% probability of a tornado out that way. Here's the wind outlook. Greater than 74-mile-per-hour winds is possible in these hatched areas. Anywhere else in the yellow, possibility of getting over 60-plus-mile-per-hour winds as well. That's heading into parts of Louisiana even. Hail threat, significant hail out here in West Texas as well. All right, as we go in through tomorrow, the slight risk kind of expands and goes towards southern parts of Texas, over again into Louisiana, and then up through Arkansas again, all the way up to Little Rock, Conway, to Jonesboro, to right around Memphis, even western parts of far western parts of Mississippi, and then a slight risk out here towards eastern Colorado, down here towards the panhandle of Oklahoma, and just northwest of Amarillo. So the risks tomorrow, there's going to be a tornado threat up here in Arkansas, in far northern, northeastern parts of Louisiana, western parts of Mississippi, including right around the Memphis area, over towards Conway, Little Rock, Pine Bluff, just north of Monroe, and Jonesboro. We have a 5 to 9% likelihood of or probability of a tornado tomorrow within 25 miles at any given point. And then, of course, in the green, 2 to 4%. So we need to keep an eye out for a possibility of a little enhancement of tornadoes for tomorrow across Arkansas. Wind outlook, nothing too crazy, but still 60-plus-mile-per-hour winds is possible, especially in these yellow shaded areas of Texas into parts of southern Arkansas and Louisiana. And the hail threat, for once, there is no hatched area for significant hail, but still some hail could get greater than 1 inch in diameter, especially in some of these yellow areas in Texas. So we're not done there. We're going into Saturday now. Saturday, we have a marginal risk all the way from all of Texas again, through parts of Oklahoma, all the way through parts of central to eastern Arkansas, getting up through parts of western Tennessee and most of Mississippi, even the Boot Heel of Missouri, for Saturday. And then basically the south kind of calms down for a minute. Of course, I say that, then all of a sudden it'll ramp back up again. So, gotta stay weather aware over the next few days. Now, there's going to be a lot of rain over the next 5 to 7 days across Texas into Arkansas, Louisiana, through Mississippi, and parts of Tennessee here. There could be upwards of 5 to possibly 7 inches of rain localized in spots. There's actually a flood watch out, basically along the Red River here, north and south of the Red River. I'll show you that here in just a second. There's going to be some spots over the next 5 to 7 days that get 5, 6, 7 inches of rain. And a lot of these grounds have pretty saturated across the area here. So let's get into the watches and warnings here. All right, so we have a severe thunderstorm watch out for just north of Houston, over towards Shreveport, Louisiana. This one over here in Texas goes for another 47 minutes, but this one out here in Louisiana goes until 10 o'clock tonight. And then we have a flood watch out for far southern Oklahoma in through Dallas, parts of northeastern parts of Texas as well, and far southeast or southwestern parts of Arkansas. Then out here towards West Texas, tornado watch. I believe it goes until 11 o'clock tonight, and then another severe thunderstorm watch up here in parts of Texas. And Texas has been absolutely hammered. The Dallas area has been absolutely hammered the past few days across the area. And then, of course, we've had those big tornadoes up here in parts of northern Arkansas, and we still have a lot of power out, even up towards Benton County, towards Bentonville, Rogers. Some major tornado damage up that way with some EF3 tornadoes up that way. So 11,000 people still out. Had a couple of other F3s across the, parts of northern Arkansas over the weekend, early Sunday morning. I was live streaming until my power went out, but there was an EF3 just south of Harrison going towards Summit, Yellville. Then it stopped there. Then we have another EF3 confirmed just south of Mountain Home, going actually across Norfolk Lake. And I think the path was about 7 miles long, but it did some major destruction through there. Then over towards Paragould, I think it was Paragould, or um, there was a tornado go through over that way, northeastern Arkansas. I think that was an EF2. But still, there's a lot of tornadoes, a lot of damage still being cleaned up across the area. And then here we are going to be talking about more severe weather. Now it's mostly focused across Texas the past few days across that area. Okay, so let's turn some of this off, and then we'll get into the warnings here because there was a tornado warning here just a little bit ago. Give me just a second. Turn all this off. All right, so actually, yeah, there is a tornado warning right now. Let's get all this pulled up so we can go over this. Actually, observed tornado right now, just south of Shreveport. Just south of Shreveport. This is an observed tornado that's on the ground. This is for DeSoto, Kedio, and Bosser Parish in Louisiana. This is an observed tornado that's on the ground right now. This goes for another 14 minutes. Let me look at velocity, trying to get my bearings here. So, as of right now, let me go back a few frames. Let me see what's going on with this storm. Okay. So this is where the tornado was on the ground, basically right over I-49 here, going towards Frierson just a little bit ago. And then it looks like the rotation kind of weakened just a little bit, but the rotation is still there across this area. So it's lightening up, but still, that tornado had to cross just south of Frierson across I-49 here, going towards that town. Um, Not seeing any other reports as of right now, but there is severe thunderstorm warnings out just out ahead of this as well for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and then a tornado possible tag. Like I said, this is just south of Shreveport. And these storms are heading up towards the city, so this needs to be definitely watched. Looks like the rotation is still there, but not as tight as it was when this tornado was actually on the ground here just a few little bit ago. It was really ramped up right here over I-49, just south of Frierson, went north, crossed basically right over Frierson, and then the rotation kind of weakened here. So still gotta watch this as it's still from the National Weather Service observed tornado that was on the ground. This is the last update from the National Weather Service out of Shreveport. This was at 7:59. Says a confirmed tornado was located 7 miles east of Stonewall or 15 miles southwest of or southeast of Shreveport, moving north at 30. So it says tornado will be near Shreveport around 8:05. But there is still rotation just south of Shreveport here. So we gotta watch this, like I said. So if you're just now joining us, there is an observed tornado warning out for DeSoto, Cato, and or Caddo, and Bosser Parish in Louisiana. Observed tornado warning. Need to get in your shelters if you are down this way. Like I said, this was really tightened up right down here, just south. This was a few frames ago, just south of Frierson. Rotation kind of started weakening as it got over Frierson, and then it's basically kind of dying out here. So, but there still could be cycling, still could be could produce a tornado anytime. So, got to keep an eye on this. But it's not, the rotation is not as bad as it was earlier. This is in Louisiana, by the way, just south of Shreveport. All right, so here's where the tornado was at just a little bit ago. This is at 7:52. You see, this is the correlation coefficient. This, you can see where the CC drop is. This means there is debris in the air. This was just before 8 o'clock. So right here, crossed I-49, went just on, basically skirted I or 175 going towards Frierson, and then it lifted. There's still some debris in the air. There might have been another spin up right here just south of Frierson, and then basically there's nothing right now. Nothing on the ground. It looks like at the moment, but still, you need to be taking your precautions across this area just south of Shreveport towards Meyer. Curious if anybody's down by Frierson or basically that I-49 175 interchange here in Louisiana, because that's where the tornado came across, and it was doing damage just a little bit ago. But regardless, there is a big storm coming in going to be coming into Shreveport and towards Ringgold here, Ushada as well. 60-mile-per-hour winds is possible. Right now, this is the only tornado warning at the moment. So here's the latest report. It says trees down across Highway 175 in Louisiana, about a mile south of 149. This is where that tornado was. So, like I said, that it was doing damage. There was this, like I said, there was a debris signature on radar with this just a little bit ago, but it looks like it's either occluded out or it's went away. The rotations went away, which is a good sign at the moment. But still, there's going to be a lot of winds coming into Shreveport, possibly over towards Ringgold into Coshada. So we're kind of going to stay alive for just a little bit until this just kind of monitor this, because we have a lot of followers down here in Louisiana. Yeah, Tracy, this tornado was on the ground right before 8 o'clock. Like I said, the 175-49 interchange, and this is where we're starting to get damage reports with trees down just a little bit ago. So, like I said, I can show you again kind of where this was at just a little bit ago. All right, see where these colors basically go from red to tannish to like dark blues and greens. That means there is stuff in the sky that is bigger than dust or anything else, bugs or whatever. So there's debris floating around in the air. This was right before 8 o'clock. at the 49 175 interchange, and then it was on the ground just north of 49 here, I-49, just south of Frierson, and then the debris was falling out basically, and then it was basically nothing at the present time. But still, there's going to be a lot of wind with this as well. So a lot of heavy rain and wind probably coming into Shreveport. Either imminent or it's very soon across Shreveport. Get over towards nothing's happening over here towards West Monroe yet, or Monroe, but all these storms are out to your west, producing at least 60-mile-per-hour winds. There is a nasty storm with this one coming into Leesville to Simpson. Could have 80-mile-per-hour winds with this one. Destructive damage is possible. Tornado is also possible with this storm. And there's actually some rotation here just west of Standard, going to be going towards Leesville in Louisiana. Here's where the rotation is. But there's going to be a lot of wind coming in to this area. Possible 80-mile-per-hour winds in parts of Louisiana here. Let's see. For Vernon and Newton, or Newton County, Texas, Vernon Parish in Louisiana. Destructive storm for northern and central Vernon Parish. 80-mile-per-hour winds is possible. In fact, there was a 70-mile-per-hour wind reported up here towards Haddons. This was at 8 o'clock, 8:04. 77-mile-per-hour wind at the Mesonet site at the Toledo Bend Dam. 77 miles per hour was the wind. So that'll definitely do damage across the area here. So Leesville, you're up next. You could be getting into 80-mile-per-hour winds, and there is a little bit of rotation with this storm as well. So New Lano, Leesville over to Simpson. Get ready. And there is a ton of power outages back here towards Dallas. 90,000 people, Dallas County, 90,000 people out of power. And then as you get just east of there, there's some power outages regarding all these storms that came through earlier. Some of these counties are over 25% out of power. So not good. This tornado warning goes for another 4 minutes, but the the main threat went away. There still is some rotation, just very weak right now. But where the tornado crossed was 175 and 49, when basically where this wind damage started occurring. This was at 750, 7 miles east southeast of Stonewall, in DeSoto Parish. Trees are down here, but that's where we had that damage or the debris showing up on radar. So we knew it was on the ground then, and then it lifted right before Frierson. But there was probably still some debris in the air. But as of right now, this is going to be mostly a wind threat with a tornado possible tag with it. I think our biggest threat is going to be down here with this storm with 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds with these storms down here. So this will be heading towards the I-49 corridor here. From Coushatta all the way down, even down towards Alexandria. And we actually have a tornado warning here. Remember, I told you that that thing was starting to spin up down here. I need to get to a different location. Hold on. This will be for Vernon Parish in Louisiana. Tornado warning. And this is where the tornado would be. Back here, right around in between Savage Fork, Louisiana, between 464 and 1211. Be heading towards 171, basically Pickering, up towards Billy Goat Hill to New Lano. They'll be next. Let me get the latest update on this. Let me get this over here for you. Just a radar indicated tornado at the present time. This is in Louisiana. See where this rotation is, right back in here, just west of 171, southwest of New Lano and Leesville. So tornado warning for central Vernon Parish until 9 o'clock. Says a tornado was located near New Lano or 8 miles southwest of Leesville. So it's going to be back in here. Moving east at 30. So Leesville to Fort Johnson to New Lano. This storm will be near you in the next few minutes at 8:35. So please take shelter immediately with this one. See where the inflow notch is back in here. So there's going to be, like I said, there's automatically basically rotation back in here. So this is what we're watching. Like I said, we are looking at Louisiana right now for all of you just joining us here. So as of right now, there's no debris in the air at the moment, but still you need to take your tornado precautions. This could be dropping at any time. This is across basically just south of Leesville, New Lano, over towards Billy Goat Hill, just north of Savage Fork, Elmwood, Pickering, Fort Polk, North Fort Polk up here as well. The radar indicated tornado. Plus, this whole area is under a destructive severe thunderstorm warning right now, with up to 80-mile-per-hour winds. All right, so this is that tornado warning up towards Shreveport was allowed to expire, basically included out. It was just a brief tornado that was on the ground that went over I-49. But this is the only tornado warning right now. This is for Vernon, Louisiana. Basically, see where this inflow is right back here. So there's going to be a rotation back in here, right around Savage Fork or just north of there. It's going to be heading towards Billy Goat Hill and possibly New Lano next, and over towards between Fort Polk over to North Fork, Fort Polk. Sorry, goodness. So that rotation is either right over Savage Fork or just north of there, going towards either Elmwood and Billy Goat Hill next. Pickering, you need to be in your tornado shelters. This is actually moving a little bit more southeast than east at the moment. So this is right over Savage Fork. Elmwood, you're up next. Pickering, you're next in line here. Sandy Hill, need to be in your tornado shelters. All right, this tornado, as of right now, this last scan, that doesn't look like there's nothing on the ground, but still, this thing could drop at any moment. Still going to be a ton of wind with this as well. Out ahead of this, possibly 80-mile-per-hour winds. This is outside of the where the tornado could be. This is for parts of Louisiana. This is for Vernon Parish in Louisiana. It's including Ulano to Billy Goat Hill, Sandy Hill, and North Fort Polk. The tornado is basically going to be right here between Savage Fork and Pickering right now, heading right towards Pickering or maybe just north of there. But still, you need to be in your tornado shelters if you live in these areas. Yep, in between Savage Fork and Elmwood right now. This is where the tornado could be. This is where the rotation's at. It's going to be heading towards Pickering here shortly. Outside this tornado warning, there's going to be upwards of 80-mile-per-hour winds. This is going to be parts of Louisiana. Like I said, that's what we're in right now. This is the only tornado warning right now in the United States. So we're kind of staying on this. This is headed almost right towards the radar site. Anybody's towards Colfax, Boyce over towards Alexandria, Woodworth to Glenmora to Oakdale. You're going to be up next with this line of storms and possibly up to 80-mile-per-hour winds with some embedded tornadoes in here with this line. And this possible tornadoes heading right into Elmwood, into Pickering right now. No CC drop, so that's good telltale sign. There's nothing on the ground as of right now, but still there is rotation there. This thing could produce anytime. All right, if you're just now joining us, make sure you hit that like button. Comment where you're from. We're in Louisiana right now with this tornado warning coming into possible tornadoes coming through Elmwood, heading towards Pickering, Sandy Hill. You're probably up next. This is for Vernon Parish in Louisiana. All right, good news is looks like the rotation is starting to weaken, so that's good news. Yeah, that inflow notch is not as great as it was. Up towards the east side of Shreveport, up towards Houghton to Minden, new severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on this. 60-mile-per-hour winds is possible. But down here towards Pickering to Sandy Hill, Fort Polk, that's where the tornado could be. Here's the latest from the National Weather Service. Let me get this over here. Severe thunderstorm cable producing tornado was located near Lulano or near Fort Johnson, moving east at 30. This remains in effect till 9 o'clock. Still a radar indicated tornado. Says could be around Fort Johnson. Around 8:40. Pickering is, like I said, it's going to be basically you're right over where that rotation was. But like I said, it looks like it is weakening. It's going to be turning into a straight line wind right now. But still, there's going to be some embedded tornadoes in with this line, especially if you get some of these inflow notches along these lines here. So we got to watch out for that. So tornado warning is in effect for Vernon County or Vernon Parish in Louisiana. It's including Sandy Hill, Fort Polk, up to North Fort Polk, Pickering to Sandy Hill. You need to be in your tornado shelters. There'll be a lot of wind with this as well, up to 80-mile-per-hour winds, even outside this tornado warning. But the rotation is weakening, so that's good. More than likely, this tornado warning will be allowed to expire. But for Pickering to Sandy Hill of Fort Polk, that's where the broad rotation is at the moment. So you still need to be in your tornado shelters anywhere along this line, especially north and south of this tornado warning. You need to be treating this like you're under a tornado warning because there's going to be 80-mile-per-hour winds possible. Destructive damage is possible with this severe thunderstorm warning. So 80-mile-per-hour winds is possible with this storm. This is in Louisiana. Let's go over to Texas. There is humongous hail over here towards Union, Friendship, and Sand. Baseball-sized hail is possible with this one. 70-mile-per-hour winds. This is just southwest of La Mesa in Texas. Gaines and Dawson County in Texas. Severe thunderstorm warning. Baseball-sized hail is possible with this storm. Seminole Comanche Trail down here to 385. This is part of Texas, just west of what we were talking about. This storm here, golf ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. But this one back here, just southwest of La Mesa, could be have baseball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Up here towards Plains, Texas, to Wellman. Ping pong ball size hail with this one. Like I said, the bigger hail threat is in part of West Texas here. There's a lot of power outages out for parts of eastern Texas. Go back to this tornado warning. Vernon Parish in Louisiana. It's for Sandy Hill, or Fort Polk. Basically, Highway 10, Highway 467 here, 443. This is in Louisiana. Very broad rotation right now, though. But still, there's going to be a possible tornadoes up and down this line, especially if you get these little inward notches. '70 to '80-mile-per-hour winds could be possible with this storm, though. We'll be going towards Alexandria and Woodworth. This will be up next, probably the next hour or so. Need to watch right in here, just east of Billy Goat Hill, and then up towards Norfolk or North Fort Polk. Another little notch here that needs to be watched. Right in here. So that's something we got to watch for a possible another full spin up to happen. Comes the next scan, so let's take a look. So basically, like I said, a little inward notch here. Like I said, you're gonna have some spin up tornadoes along the head of this line. But these storms are racing east. Just looking at the latest Storm Prediction Center stuff, seeing if they're going to expand this watch out. Fifth thunderstorm watch goes clear towards Monroe right now. This goes, uh, actually, goes for another 3 hours 15 minutes. So this was just issued just a little bit ago. Looks like, or was expanded by the National Weather Service. So this goes until I believe almost midnight. So Monroe, you're under a severe thunderstorm watch. These storms have a history of producing 80 some mile per hour winds. This was an 84 mile per hour wind gust. They had sustained winds at 77, gust to 84 back here towards Toledo Bend Dam in Texas. That's over into Louisiana now, of course. So if you're in Alexandria up towards Monroe, you're going to be getting some nasty storms here in the next hour or so. So need to stay up on the weather here because some of these storms mean business, producing up to 80 mile per hour winds with some of these storms. It's probably going to come with a bunch of power outages. I hate to say that, as we're already getting a bunch back here into Shreveport. Just southwest of Shreveport, DeSoto Parish, 22% out of power right now. As you go along this line or just behind it, there's 36% out there, 22% out, 29% in Angelina County in Texas. All right, that tornado warning got expired, so that's good. So basically, we're just left with severe thunderstorm warnings across the area. Collingworth, Texas, tornado possible with this one. 70 mile per hour winds. I think the hail is going to be a little bit bigger than what they're saying here, but broad rotation with this one. It's back here in parts of Texas. It's north of Wellington. So we'll be heading over towards Oklahoma here soon. Said Dallas. If you're in the Dallas area, there is 90,000 people out of power in Dallas from these storms, and you guys in Dallas been rocked over the past couple days. New severe thunderstorm warning here for eastern DeSoto Parish, Red River Parish, northwestern Nacogdoches Parish, Bennyville Parish, and northwestern Wind Parish till 9:30. 60-mile-per-hour winds and maybe upwards of 3/4 inch hail. So, like I said, if you're in Monroe, we have a lot of followers in West Monroe and Monroe. You're got about an hour or so, and then these storms will be headed towards you. Like I said, embedded tornadoes could be possible within this line. You basically almost brief spin ups, but we'll see how that goes. We've had some brief spin ups down here just south of Leesville, just south of Shreveport. Basically, I-49 and 175 junction here crossed 70 or 49. There was a debris signature on correlation coefficient. The most damaging storm right now is back in Texas, in Dawson County, Texas. With this storm here, it's going to be going towards 10-mile, 5-mile Klondike, towards Midway. This is in Texas. Golf ball size hail is possible with this one. There's actually baseball size hail could be possible back here, even towards getting into Friendship at the moment. Even have severe thunderstorm warnings all the way up in South Dakota, Turner County, South Dakota. Severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds possible. Check this other storm that's about to cross into Oklahoma soon. It's that tornado possible tag with this one. 70-mile-per-hour winds and half-dollar size hail is to be heading into Oklahoma very soon. So if you're just joining us, we're basically focused on Texas and Louisiana. Big winds and embedded tornadoes just ahead of this line, or in this line of storms. Lots of wind. There was an 84-mile-per-hour wind gust just west of Leesville, Louisiana here just a little bit ago. All this is going to be heading towards Alexandria, up towards, going to be heading towards Ruston to Monroe in the next 45 minutes to an hour. So very nasty storms heading into through Louisiana right now. This line of storms produced a lot of power outages in eastern Texas. Like I said, Dallas County is 90,000 people out of power right now. All these storms just west of Alexandria packing a punch, 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds. We've had it, like I said, we had 84-mile-per-hour wind gusts back here towards Toledo Bend Dam in Texas. That was heading over into Louisiana. Lots of wind coming with this. Like I said, Shreveport, very heavy rain, lightning. happening right now. Severe thunderstorm warning still for another 7 minutes, and then just north or just east of town, tornado possible tag with this one. Something we got to watch up there. This is something we got to watch down here towards Grand Bayou Reservoir to southwest of Liberty. Little rotation there. Got to watch that. Just kind of going up and down this line, seeing if I see anything that we need to call out here. But overall, most of this will be a wind machine, basically. It'd be 60 to 70, 80 mile per hour winds across Louisiana. Is anybody watching from Louisiana right now? I know there was some from Shreveport earlier. I'm just wondering if there's any damage reports or what you're seeing down that way. No, there was a tornado on the ground earlier, just right around the 175-49 junction here, just south of Shreveport. There was some trees down. They're kind of lifted right before Frierson, but there was debris signature on radar with that one. No tornado warnings at the moment. We have several tornado possible tagged, severe thunderstorm warnings though. But if you're just joining us, Monroe, West Monroe, Ruston, we have a lot of followers back in there. You're going to get some severe thunderstorms here, probably in the next 45 minutes to an hour. Margaret, like I said, if you're in Monroe, you're in a severe thunderstorm watch. Also, you have lots of big line of storms out west of you. It's going to be heading into the area in the next hour or so. This line has a history of producing over 80 mile per hour winds and some spin up tornadoes. Was a tornado on the ground earlier just south of Shreveport, crossed over I-49. Lots of, like I said, lots of power outages behind this line. Even up towards Dallas County, there's 90,000 people out. This line extends all the way down to just north of Houston, the Woodlands. Very, very nasty storms. Funny how I just came up on this. A new severe thunderstorm warning is out for or eastern parts of Houston now. Humboldt, Kingwood, just south of Dayton. Severe thunderstorm warning, 60 mile per hour winds possible with this storm. This storm out here towards Seminole, there was just west of here, there was a baseball sized hail just west of Seminole here just a little bit ago. That was at 8:04. You to watch this storm up here. Looks like this thing is trying to rotate. Just west of Brownville, south east of Plains. This one is looking a little, taking a little bit more bean shaped, so it looks like it may start rotating soon. Or storm's trying to rotate. Back up here to this storm where tornado possible tag is off this one now, but still golf ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds could be heading um, basically through 83 here over towards Oklahoma, 30 in Oklahoma, western Oklahoma. Get back to parts of Louisiana. New severe thunderstorm warning out for Alexandria, 60-mile-per-hour winds and some hail. Very heavy rains as well. Blinding rains coming with this. Like I said, if you're joining us, you're in Monroe, you're going to be getting into the action here in the next 45 minutes to an hour. $70-mile-per-hour winds about to get into Natchitoches. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Natchez, Clarence, you're up next. Big winds coming into that area. Anybody in and around Shreveport to Alexandria? If we can pull up, find some cameras here so we can see you or show you guys. All the I-49 cameras in Louisiana, they're all down at the moment. So if you're just now joining us, we're in Louisiana. We had some tornado warnings here just a little bit ago, but we have a lot of followers in and around Monroe and northern parts of Louisiana. We're going to have some severe storms heading towards Ruston to Monroe here in the next 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour towards Monroe. But there has been some embedded tornadoes here. This is one we got to watch right in here. This little bend right here. We got to watch this one. Like I said, there's going to be some embedded spin ups in between on this line. So we got to watch for this. Very heavy rains coming into Pine Coop. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And they have a severe thunderstorm warning out right now for this county. It's a tornado possible. We got to watch this right here. Basically, Mora to Pine Cope, up to Flatwoods to Janey, Choppin, to Marco. Got to watch this because this could be the next spin up that happens. Basically going towards 119. Janie to I-49 to Chopin possibly. Heading towards Gorham as well. And this is getting a little bit more concerning. There's broad rotation with this one. So we gotta watch this. This could be the next tornado warning if this continues. And there it is. Hopefully you all took my warning down here and chopping to Janie to Galbraith. Marco, you're in a tornado warning right now. Radar indicated. Been watching this rotation now for just a few minutes before the tornado warning came out. So hopefully you all, if you know anybody down this way, they need to be in your tornado shelters. This is starting to wrap up pretty good. Just right around Pine Coop to getting towards Flatwoods. Galbraith to Choppin' Janie is going to be next. Now I have another tornado warning in Texas. We need to go to real quick. This is that one we were watching. It's kind of calling out earlier that this was getting more of a bean-shaped look to it. Now it's got getting into a hook now. So Silgo to Pleasant Hill in Texas. Yoakum to Terry, Texas. Under a tornado warning out there. Let's go back to Louisiana. We were watching this storm. So Central Grant Parish, southeastern Nacogdoches Parish in northwestern Louisiana until 9:30. Severe thunderstorm cable producing tornadoes located near Flatwoods or 10 miles west of Lena, moving northeast at 30. Mostly remain over rural areas, but this will be around Chopin to Gorham to Aloha. Take cover now across this area. And I'll be honest, looks like there's another rotation trying to form just north of here, right up here, just northeast of Gorham to Janie. You need to be in your tornado shelters. Looks like there's another rotation trying to form right up here. Need to be in your tornado shelters. This is getting a little bit more concerning across this area. This is in Louisiana. Chopping to Galbraith to Marco up towards Aloha. Like I said, this is becoming a concerning look right here. May be coming into Janie to Choppin, going to be crossing 49. There's two rotations now with this storm. One's down here towards Flatwoods, and another one's up here just southwest of Janie. This one up to the north is looking a little bit more concerning to me. You see where that hook is right here, that inflows right through here, where this greens and yellows are, and this red's bending back. This is where the tornado could be. Basically, um, going towards 490, going towards Janie. Chopping could be next as well. Could be going over I-49 very soon. This is in Louisiana. Like I said, there's going to be spin up tornadoes along this line as we go forward throughout the night. Here's where that warning is, or that rotation is. Comes the next scan. This rotation's heading into Janie here shortly. Grant or Nacogdoches Parish in Louisiana, tornado warning right now. And then Yoakum, Terry County in Texas. This is where we call out that the storm was taking on this bean shaped earlier. See where this kind of this curvature is. There's a little hook on the back side of this. This is coming southeast into this county. Back to Louisiana. So basically, this rotation is going to be near Janie right now, going toward Choppin will be next. Anytime you have these little bends in this line, that's where you got to start watching for possible spin up tornadoes along these lines here. This is where the rotation is right now. It's heading right towards Janie. Be going towards Choppin probably next. There is a little bit more rotation down here towards Flatwoods as well, but looks like this one's trying to take over up here towards Janie. But anywhere in this area, you need to be taking shelter. So rotation is basically right over Janie or just east of there, going northeast towards Choppin to Galbraith. Be next. Doesn't look like there's anything down at the moment, but need to be in your tornado shelters regardless. If you're just joining us, we are in Louisiana with this storm here. Grant and Nacogdoches Parish in Louisiana, radar indicated. Be kind of on this storm for a little bit. Even before the tornado warning came out, we would notice a rotation, kind of gave you all a heads up if you're in this area. But it's cut right over Janie right now, going towards Choppin. The rotation, there was actually two rotations. One time, one was over Flatwoods, and one was just southwest of Janie. So this line will ramp up very quickly with these spin up tornadoes, and the rotation is basically over Janie right now, or just east. We'll be going over I-49, going towards Galbraith to Choppin. That'll be next. Here's another tornado warning now. This is for Rapids. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. In Vernon County in Louisiana. Tornado warning here. Till 9:45. Thunderstorm capable of producing tornado was located near Sepper or 8 miles northwest of Heinsohn, moving east of 45. Saying there could be a spin up tornado basically right in here. All right, so Walding to Lewiston to Gardner to Hemp Hill. You need to be in your tornado shelters. Like I said, there's going to be spin up tornadoes along this line. Station's still there. It's basically going to be going over I-49 here shortly, going towards Galbraith to Chopin, basically. Not as tight as it was earlier. Like I said, there's going to be spin ups all along this line. Go back, check this Texas storm as there's tennis ball sized hail with this and a tornado warning with this one as well for Pleasant Hill. This is not as impressive as it was earlier. Still need to take your tornado precautions here. Tennis ball size hail is nothing to play with. Go back to Louisiana. This is where this nasty storms come into the area. Regardless, there's going to be some very heavy winds coming through this area. Rotation is basically just east of Janie now, going towards I-49. Galbraith, you're up next. Borax Lake. Another tornado warning down here. So Rapids Parish and Vernon Parish in Louisiana, Grant Parish and Nacogdoches Parish in Louisiana under tornado warning right now, and then Yoakum and Terry County in Texas tornado warning. That one's got tennis ball size hail with it. Big time winds going to be coming in Gibson to Arcata to Bryceland over the next little bit. 60, 70 mile per hour winds possible with this one. Like I said, this big line of storms going to be heading east northeast. Like I said, Monroe, you're going to be up next here soon, very soon. And there's a severe thunderstorm warning down here in Texas, right in the suburbs of Houston. Like the straight line winds here, nothing tornadic at the moment, but still some heavy rain, lightning, some 60 mile per hour winds possible with this. Maybe some small hail. This is coming towards the I-10 corridor here, just east of Houston towards Cove, Baytown, Beach City soon. All right, let's get back on these tornado warnings. That notch is kind of going away here. So, like I said a million times already, there's going to be some spin up tornadoes. That rotation is basically gone now. There's still some broad rotation, but still not as bad as it was earlier. So, big time winds coming into this area as well. Take a peek down with this storm. This one had a possible brief spin up right around Seeper a little bit ago. Said you guys through basically along the Red River here through Dallas, through Shreveport, you guys have had a ton of rain lately, and there's going to be another 1 to 3 inches, maybe even higher than that, over the next 24 hours across the same area. There's a flood watch in effect across this area for tonight into tomorrow. Another tornado warning is up now. This one is could be dangerous because this doesn't look good already. Right here, just west or just east of Westport now, going towards Union Hill. Has a little bit more concerned look on it. Look at this big inflow notch around Westport, and a big area rotation here. This is going to be going towards Union Hill. This is in Louisiana. So Union Hill to Forest Hill to McNary to Midway under tornado warning right now. This is just radar indicated, but this has a very concerning look on it. See about this next scan here. And yes, big time inflow with this one. Rotations are going to be going towards Union Hall here shortly. Very broad rotation at the moment. Trying to see if there's anything. This right here is a little concerning. So we need to treat this as this tornado could be possibly on the ground here, just southwest of Union City in Louisiana. You are in Union City. You need to take shelter immediately. Or Union Hill. Sorry about that. Union Hill. You need to be in your tornado shelters immediately. There could be a tornado on the ground with this. That this is a little concerning, especially with all of them clustered together like this. I'm away for the next scan to see if we see anything else, but that is a concerning look that this could be on the ground. So you need to be in your tornado shelters. Highway 112, Highway 113, basically coming right into Union Hill. This is going to be very shortly here, if this possible tornado coming into the area. This will probably be rain wrapped, so you're not going to be able to see it if it is on the ground. All these tornado warnings right now up here in Grant, Nacogdoches until for another 8 minutes. Tornado warning radar indicated. Yoakum and Terry County in Texas radar indicated tornado warning. Tennis ball size hail with that. Rapids and Vernon Parish in Louisiana tornado warning, and this one down here towards Union Hill is a little bit more concerning. Basically skirting between 112 113, but it's going to be heading northeast here. If you're just joining us, we have tornado warning. We have a couple tornado warnings in parts of Louisiana. Grant and Nacogdoches County, Louisiana, for another 7 minutes. Rapids and Vernon Parish in Louisiana as well, and then this one around Union Hill in Louisiana. So it still has a really decent inflow notch on it. This is right around Union Hill right now. Just waiting for the next velocity scan. And a few frames ago, this looked a little concerning as we had this right here all tight together here. Um, so it may have been on the ground temporarily, but Union Hill, you still need to be your rotation's right over you right now. Lots of regardless, there's gonna be a ton of wind coming into parts of just south of Union Hill, 90 miles per hour. This is just off the surface. This is very close to the ground, actually. This is probably not that far up, maybe 500 to 800 feet above the ground. You got 97-mile-per-hour winds with this. Very dangerous situation with just winds coming into parts of this area. Some of these winds are 95 to 90 miles an hour just south of Union Hill coming into, like I said, these are just off the ground, maybe 500 feet up to 700 feet, maybe not even that. As we're really close to radar, this last scan, 97-mile-per-hour winds possible just above the ground. So um, 70 to 80 to 85-mile-per-hour winds possible in this localized area right through here. This is where the tornado warning is at right now. But this is going to be a lot of wind coming into possibly Glenmora to McNary to Longleaf, Forest Hill, Bringhurst to Midway very soon. This is a very dangerous situation. Like I said, there's just off the surface, there's 97-mile-per-hour winds in with this. Rotation is still there, just basically just east of Union Hill now. But there is a ton of wind with this. Like I said, there's going to be probably 70 to 80 plus mile per hour winds on the surface with this possibility. Going to be coming into Glenmora, McNary, Longleaf, and the Forest Hill. This is in Louisiana. Could be another rotation trying to form back here just north east of Lewiston towards Otis, heading towards Castor Plunge. Broad rotation down here just south of Gardner. Still under tornado warning here. Like I said, these brief spin ups are going to happen, but this is a dangerous situation down here. Um, just with winds. I don't, we don't have any of those 90 to 90-mile-per-hour readings, but still, we're talking probably 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds, possibly getting into Glenmore to McNary to Longleaf within the next 10 minutes or so. This is in Louisiana. If anybody knows anybody in Louisiana, especially down towards Monroe, got severe thunderstorms just off to your west. It's going to be heading into the city here soon. We have a lot of spin up tornadoes down here towards Alexandria, towards Woodworth, towards Glenmora. Glenmora, you're going to get blasted with a lot of wind here very soon. It's on the west side of town right now. There's a lot of wind with this. You're still under a tornado warning. I think 65 to 80-mile-per-hour winds is possible still with this storm, regardless. There could be a new rotation forming just up here towards just southwest of Melder. So we need to watch that. These spin up tornadoes could be pretty brief. They'll spin up pretty fast, and then they'll just and then they'll move out basically, and they'll be left with a ton of wind. Like I said, Glenmore to McNairy to Longleaf, you're probably going to get 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds here soon. This is in Louisiana. All right, that tornado warning in Texas expired. It's no longer a threat, but there's still going to be a pretty decent severe thunderstorm warning with it, with 2.5-inch hail and basically almost baseball size in Terry and Yoakum County in Texas. So tornado warnings out basically for almost all of Rapid Parish in Louisiana. Big winds going to be coming into Glenmora, McNairy, and Longleaf very soon. Like probably very imminent. This is in Louisiana. We got another inflow notch up here. Yes, Ruston. Just said that. Yeah. So the west side of Ruston, you're under severe thunderstorm warning right now for 60-mile-per-hour winds. This line of storms heads east-northeast, so you could be getting in on these storms here in the next 30 minutes or so. Then these are coming east-northeast as well. So you're got a little bit before it hits Ruston here, but 60-mile-per-hour winds possible with this storm. But all these spin-up tornadoes are just down here by getting towards Alexandria and Glenmora. I need to look at this storm up here as well. Back to this radar site. This little notch right here, just east of Montgomery. That's something we need to watch right here too. This has broad rotation on it. There's going to be a brief tornado possible with this one. This is just north Colfax, southeast or southwest of Atlanta. This is in Louisiana, not Georgia. And east of or southwest of Winfield. So this rotation right here, this is where I was talking about that inflow right here. So there's going to be a possible new spin-up tornado that happens just southeast or southwest of Atlanta in Louisiana. Check back on this storm. Glenmora, I'm telling you, you're getting absolutely crushed with wind. Curious if there's anybody down that way. It was just south of or east of Montgomery. This is in Louisiana. South of Atlanta. This is in Louisiana. Like so, there's rotation here. Could be a brief spin up tornadoes along this line of storms, basically. All the way just east of Shreveport here, all the way down through getting towards Alexandria. And then here's another little possible spot down here just north of Oberlin, Louisiana. something we need to watch. Anytime you see these little inward notches here, it's ones you got to watch. Said big general severe thunderstorm warning up here from Winfield to Pollock. Tornado possible tag. Like I said, they're going to have some spin up tornadoes along this line. And here's another one that's possible. That's really starting to back here just east. I'm sorry, just west of Forest Hill, Bringhurst. Big time winds coming into Glenmore, McNairy, and Longleaf. There's 80, almost 85-mile-per-hour winds right off the surface. So there's going to be big winds coming into Longleaf, Forest Hill. You're going to be next. The possibility of there's a little inflow notch up here, right here, right where my cursor's at, basically. So you need to watch this one. But there's a ton of wind with this storm. Still just east, sorry, just west of Forest City or Forest Hill, Bringhurst. Possible rotation trying to happen back in here, but there is a ton of wind coming into Longleaf right now. Forest Hill, you're going to be next. Lots of wind through here. Glenmore to McNairy to Longleaf, Forest Hill, you're about to get blasted with a ton of wind. Midway, you're going to be up next. This is in Louisiana. Still have these two tornado warnings in Louisiana. This goes for another 8 minutes or so, but there's going to be spin ups along this line, like I've said, for a little bit. Said just west of Forest Hill. This is where we're watching this rotation here. It's need be a tornado safe spot, but there's a ton of wind coming on the backside of this, the Glenmora to Forest Hill very soon. 80 mile per hour winds possible. Watching this little notch right here, just northwest of Woodworth in Louisiana. So at 9:37, thunderstorm capable of producing tornado was located 7 miles southeast of Gardner or 7 miles south of Alexandria International Airport, moving east at 45. This continues to Alexandria. You're probably going to be in a tornado warning here soon if this keeps up. said, we got these little embedded notches or embedded rotations in with this line. But Alexandria, that's a pretty decent population center there. So need to be watching the skies here shortly and think about getting into your tornado shelters here soon if this continues. Mm. Forest Hill to Bringhurst to Midway. You got a ton of wind, probably 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds coming into that area very soon. The upgraded the severe thunderstorm warning to considerable damage. It says 70-mile-per-hour winds possible. We've been watching this for a while. It had at one point 95-mile-per-hour winds just off the surface with these straight line winds and embedded tornadoes. This is in Louisiana. These tornado warnings go for another 5 minutes in Louisiana. If you're in Monroe or Ruston, you're going to be up next for some severe weather here soon. Alexandria, basically on your doorstep. So big winds, possibly 70 to 80 miles per hour, especially down here towards Forest Hill to LeCompte, Cheneyville, Woodworth. You got embedded tornadoes in this as well. But lots of wind coming into Woodworth to Alexandria here very soon. We have these little rotations developing just south of here too. Oakdale, Pine Prairie to Ville Platte, Unis. 60-mile-per-hour winds, tornado possible tag on this one as well. Blinding downpours will be coming into the area, along with very heavy rain and some hail. If you're just now joining us, make sure you click that thumbs up button if you would. Helps with algorithms so we can get people this severe weather information. Just checking some reports here. We're going through Louisiana here. We've had embedded tornadoes within this line of this basically squall line here. You can see where it's bowing out in spots. That's where some of these heavier winds will be. Down here towards Alexandria to Woodworth, this is where some of these nastier winds are at right now with up to 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds. So we'll have this one tornado warning still out, just only for another minute or so. But like I said a couple different times, there's going to be some spin ups along this line of storms going into basically central parts of Louisiana now. You have storms out in parts of Texas as well. Let's go towards Brownwood over towards Stephenville. Big nasty line of storms here. 65-mile-per-hour winds possible with this one. 70-mile-per-hour winds down here towards Brownwood. Then we get up towards Oklahoma, Elk City, to getting towards just west of Altus. Great thunderstorm warnings out this way. 60-mile-per-hour winds possible with these. And then out here towards western Texas. Lime-sized hail possible. This one coming into Wellman. This one's starting to look a little bit more bean shaped, so we got to watch the possible tornado threat with that one. All tornado warnings right now are expired, but there is some heavy power outages right behind this line here. So Vernon Parish, 42% out of power here. Sabine Parish, 31%. 11% Nacogdoches Parish. Allen Parish, 7%, but the line's still going through there. Alexandria, 70-mile-per-hour winds coming into the city here shortly. Like imminent. Woodworth all the way down towards Lecompte. You're going to be getting into some nasty winds here soon. It's about to hit I-49 from Woodworth all the way down towards Cheneyville. It's going to be some nasty winds coming in, 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds possible coming into Alexandria as well. All right, if you're just now joining us, we're in Louisiana. We're tracking this dangerous line of storms that's coming through parts of central Louisiana, in through parts of northern Louisiana as well. Lots of power outages behind this as well. We've had 70 to 80, 85-mile-per-hour winds reported behind this line here. The reports starting to come in. Basically, we're watching these little notches out ahead of this line here for possible spit up tornadoes. It's coming into some big time winds coming into parts of Alexandria, Woodworth, over towards the I-49 corridor, basically south of Alexandria, down to just west of Cheneyville. Nasty winds coming into the area. We got to watch these little spin up possibilities out ahead of this line, but there is a lot of wind with this, so there's going to be some nasty power outages. I'm afraid, Alexandria, you're in basically right. It's basically coming right into the city here shortly. So you're gonna have some very nasty winds coming into Alexandria. Woodworth, you're already getting it. Lecompte, you're next. Up towards Ball as well. You see, there's like a little mezzo low or low pressure back in here just east of Shreveport. You can see where this rotation is back in here and out ahead of this. This is where that line is pushing towards basically this racing northeast. So a lot of this line right here is going to be coming towards Monroe, the southern part of the line where this Boeing segment is. It could be coming towards Monroe here soon. So you got plenty of warning. So if you have any trash cans or anything laying around outside, you might want to bring those in so they're not down the street tomorrow morning. But a lot of wind coming into Alexandria here. 70-mile-per-hour winds possible. This is basically heading the I-49 corridor from Alexandria all the way down to Cheneyville. There will be severe thunderstorm warning out next towards Marksville to Semisport, the Cottonport. We gotta, like I said, we gotta keep watching these inflow notches, these little spin up tornado issues that we may have along this line here. 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds just off the surface with some of these, with this Boeing line of storms, basically right along into Alexandria down towards LeCompte, Louisiana. No tornado warnings right now, but we're sticking with this in Louisiana because there's a lot of wind coming in through the I-49 corridor from Alexandria all the way down towards Cheneyville. 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds is possible. There's been some of these on radar just off the surface of 70 to 75-mile-per-hour winds. There's a 77 here on this one just a second ago. There it was. 77 right there. So big time winds coming into the area with some embedded tornadoes is possible with this line. All this is rotating around this like meso low or this low pressure, basically just circulating around just east of Shreveport now. So all this Boeing segment's going to be um, this one down here is going to be going east, and then as you go up, this is moving more east northeast, and then this Boeing segment here is moving northeast. So Monroe, you're going to be hit with this eventually. Lots of power outages, by the way, back in here. So 42% out of power in Vernon Parish. This parish 38%. 31% Sabine Parish, 11% Nacogdoches, 12% DeSoto, 4.5 in Webster. But down here towards Alexandria, with all this wind coming in, I'm surprised we haven't seen any more power outages yet. All right, if you're just joining us, we're in Louisiana dealing with this big, nasty, Boeing line of storms that's delivering a ton of power outages across eastern parts of Tennessee, screaming across central Louisiana right now. We've had 85-mile-per-hour wind gusts in certain parts of the area. And the biggest threat right now is coming in through Alexandria, down I 49 through Cheneyville. So this is where the heavier winds is at the moment. Basically from Alexandria, like I said, all the way down to Cheneyville with up to 80-mile-per-hour winds possible. This is in Louisiana. There is like I'll put this in motion for you. You can see there is like a meso low or low pressure like back here just east of Shreveport. So all this Boeing segment here is moving northeast, and then as you go down towards the middle of the line, it's moving east northeast, and down here towards the southern end of the line, it's moving southeast to east. So very nasty conditions heading into parts of Louisiana tonight. Do have severe thunderstorms back here in Oklahoma. It's including Altus, Oklahoma now, southwestern parts, 60-mile-per-hour winds, basically 60-mile-per-hour winds all along this western side of Oklahoma here. And as we get just southwest of Dallas, there's another line of storms here. This is 65-mile-per-hour winds and three-quarter inch hail and quarter-size hail down here towards Brownwood. Like I said, there is a lot of power outages. This parish 38% down here towards Vernon Parish, 42% now out of power. With this nasty line of storms coming through the area. There is a severe thunderstorm watch out. Basically for all of central Louisiana. I'm assuming this may get extended, but let me go see what the Storm Prediction Center is thinking. Like they are not thinking about extending it as of right now. So we'll see how that plays out. But this line is going to keep on going. So I would imagine a new severe thunderstorm watch could be issued later for eastern parts of Louisiana into possibly Mississippi. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. New Spirit thunderstorm warning back here to Brownwood, Texas. $half size hail now, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Lots of power outages here across eastern Texas into Louisiana now. All these say 60-mile-per-hour winds coming in through Alexandria, Cottonport, to Marksville. Need to watch this little appendage right here, just southeast of LeCompte towards Lloyd. Like I said, could be some brief spin up tornadoes here. Regardless, there's a lot of wind coming in through this part of the area here. This is just off the surface, probably 1,000 feet up or so. There's 50, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's actually lightened up just a little bit. There was a 95, 96-mile-per-hour wind just off the surface back here, just west of Woodworth earlier. You're in Monroe, you're probably just getting some light rain right now, but this Boeing segment of storms is moving northeast. It'll be headed towards you. Let me see if I can do a track here on this, but some of these are moving pretty quickly, 40 miles per hour or so. Let's do a track here on this. It's like West Monroe may hit in the next 65 minutes or so. So about an hour. So originally thought these were going to move east, but since there's like a mesolow back here, these are actually moving more north to northeast. And then these are moving northeast down here. So this is going to be the main threat coming into Monroe probably the next hour or so. So I do apologize. See the power outages starting to come in Rapids Parish 3% out. These continue to go up around Vernon Parish 46% out now, 38% in Burrard Parish, Allen Parish 15 to 16% out of power. Just looking through Twitter, see if I see any more storm reports or anything like that. There was a couple of tornadoes touched down earlier across the western parts of Louisiana, especially south of Shreveport. We had debris on signature on radar earlier. If you're just now joining us, we are in Louisiana. We have a nasty squall line of storms coming through central parts of Louisiana with a ton of power outages behind this. Just severe thunderstorm warnings at the moment with 60-mile-per-hour winds, tornado possible tag on this one down here towards Unis. Nothing concerning at the moment besides high winds, of course. Alexandria, you're getting absolutely crushed with a ton of rain and some high winds right now. And lots of lightning. But this will be making it, this part of the line will be making it up towards Monroe here in the next hour or so. As we have like this meso low or this low pressure back here in parts of Shreveport that's circulating around, and it's really driving in these very heavy winds coming in through parts of central Louisiana. We could take a look at some of these power outages coming in. Alexandria, Rapids Parish, 3% right now, 13% Natchitoches Parish, 46% Vernon Parish. These continue to go up. 38% here, 31% down here. Allen Parish, almost 16%. So these power outages continue to go up. Up here towards Webster Parish, 5%. Lots of power outages out here towards Texas, even up towards Dallas. 84,000 people out of power. Lots of severe thunderstorms even out here towards Nebraska and Colorado. Anybody's flying into Denver. There's severe thunderstorms lining up basically towards Boulder, Broomfield, the Hudson, over towards this southwest of Wiggins on I-76 is south of there. Quarter size hail with this one, quarter size hail on with Hudson. And this one could be heading into the Denver metro here very soon with some heavy winds and some hail. These storms lining up here. Northeast Kansas, severe thunderstorm warning up here as well. $50 size hail at St. Francis. Go up here towards Nebraska. Severe thunderstorm warning up here. $half size hail for Osmond. But nasty, severe weather continues down here in parts of Texas and Louisiana. We're going to watch these storms just for a few more minutes, but these storms will be hooking back into Monroe here as we go. They'll be coming from your southwest, be coming up towards Monroe here the next hour or so. So beware, there's be some gusty winds, some lightning, heavy rainfall, maybe some small hail. But there is going to be renewed severe weather throughout the rest of the night, and then more tomorrow. And the next day is going to be a little bit better chance of tornadoes up in Arkansas tomorrow. We'll take a look at that. All right, if you're just now joining us, we have a nasty line of storms coming through Louisiana. We've had some embedded tornadoes with this line for a while now. There was a tornado that touched down just south of Shreveport, just basically down here towards the I-49 and 175 corridor. There is some damage down through here. There was damage signature on radar with this as it crossed I-49. And now we have basically some nasty storm bow line of storms. Went through Alexandria going towards Cotton Port, Marksville, towards Ola to Clarks. And this will be in the Monroe area. This line here, down here towards Winfield, towards Dotson to Jonesboro here. This is Louisiana. We'll be moving northeast up towards Monroe. You're probably already seeing some lightning. We've got a few lightning indicators already just west of town there. If you're just joining us, make sure you click that like button if you would, and comment where you're from. That'd be great. Lots of big hail back in Texas. So if you're joining us, Dallas still has the 82,000 people out of power, and the power outages keep racking up across parts of Louisiana where this line of storms came through. Rapids Parish up to 6.5% now. This is as of 10 o'clock, so I think it updates every 10 or 15 minutes. Vernon Parish 45%, 40% down here, 27% Sabine Parish. But these power outages numbers are going to be going up as we continue this big push of this line of storms coming through the area. It's basically like a low pressure back in here. You can see it on radar here when it back in here. You see that rotation back in here. So some kind of like a meso low or something back in here. And then this line of storms is starting to bow northeast. So it's going to be coming towards the Monroe area very soon, probably the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. Then this main line, the center of this line is moving straight east. And then the southern port is moving east southeast. So very nasty night in Louisiana tonight, and there's still some severe weather back here in parts of Texas. 65-mile-per-hour winds is southwest of Fort Worth. Some $half size hail coming into Brownwood, possibly. And then we have severe thunderstorms all the way up here into the Denver area, just north of town. Quarter size hail for each one of these. And then once a couple of these storms could be making it into the Denver metro area very soon. And probably going to be affecting some air traffic in and around Denver International Airport, major hub across the United States for air travel. That airport is right in this area here. So we have lots of storms up to the north. Those move in. There's going to be some flight delays for sure. And then up here towards Arkansas, where we had those tornadoes Saturday night into Sunday morning, still got power outages up here in Benton County, in parts of Arkansas, where we had some EF3 tornadoes come through parts of the northern parts of the state early Sunday morning. It was a crazy night. I was streaming all night till the power went out. With tornadoes coming through. We had multiple tornado warnings across southern parts of Missouri into northern Arkansas. Seemed like it ramped up between 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning. That was just a crazy time across that area with lots of debris signatures on radar and debris balls as well. It was just very nasty situation. Lots of cleanup efforts ongoing up in parts of Arkansas and into Oklahoma even. And now the last few days has been nonstop severe weather in parts of Texas. Saw some of those pictures out of Dallas where they had 80, 90 mile an hour winds. I think a day or so ago, moved a plane out of basically its gate area. But very nasty conditions, flooding, flash flooding occurring too. So we have flood threat as well. Another 1 to 3 inches of rain is possible across basically Dallas and through parts of southwestern Arkansas, far southern Oklahoma. We have another line of storms coming in through parts of western Oklahoma now. No tornado threat with these. You can see where the outflow is on these storms, but straight line wind possibilities with these. Then lots of lightning with these storms. If you're looking southwest of Dallas, you can probably see this nonstop lightning show just southwest of Dallas Fort Worth, down towards Comanche to Stevensville, Brownwood, and then these power outages continue to go up across parts of Louisiana. So this line of storms going to be coming northeast to Monroe here soon, and you're going to be basically northern parts of the state are going to be socked in with some very heavy rain throughout the night. So there's flash flood warnings right now in parts of Louisiana, up in the Shreveport area. Foster Parish, Cotio Parish, and Webster Parish until 11:45. Flash flooding is imminent across that area. Look at some of these rainfall totals so far today, and it's still pouring rain. 3 to 5 inches of rain just north of town in Shreveport. You get out here towards Marshall, Texas, 5 to 6 inches of rain already, and another 1 to 3 plus possible across this area over the next 24 hours, or some even across northern parts of Louisiana here. All right, we do have a severe. Looks like they extended the severe thunderstorm watch out. Take a look at that really quick, including parts of Mississippi, just southwest of Jackson. Goes until I believe 1 o'clock in the morning. But tornado possible tags, basically with these severe thunderstorm warnings, as they're expecting some brief spin ups possible within this line of storms. All right, still watching these storms in Louisiana. We'll be heading up towards the Monroe area soon. Lots of power outages right behind this. We can check on those. Allen Parish 16% now. These storms just came through. Rapids Parish up to 11%. 35 in that parish. 46 in Vernon Parish. 27 in Sabine. Nacogdoches 13 and a half. Lots of power outages coming through this area. To the northern parts of the state, there's actually flash flood warnings up towards Shreveport right now. 2 to 5 inches of rain have already fallen across that area today. All right, this is the severe weather for the rest of tonight. Slight risk all the way through parts of Louisiana. Got enhanced risk back here towards Lubbock, Midland as well. Then as we get towards tomorrow, the slight risk moves up into parts of Arkansas, into the Memphis area, western parts of Mississippi, through most of Louisiana again, and into parts of Texas, and then the front range of the Rockies up here towards Colorado as well. There is going to be a tornado threat tomorrow, basically centered on Arkansas in through central Arkansas, eastern Arkansas, even over towards Memphis. 5 to 9% probability of a tornado tomorrow. And then more severe weather possible on Saturday over most of the same areas. Most of the same areas. All right, so like I said, if you're just now joining us, we've been watching this line of storms coming through Louisiana. Monroe is going to be getting on these storms here just southwest of town over the next 30 to 45 minutes. Lots of wind coming in through here. 60 to 70 mile per hour winds going to be heading in through eastern parts of Louisiana, heading over towards Mississippi very soon. Lots of power outages behind this. But the severe weather and flooding threat will continue tonight and in through tomorrow. And like I said, there will be a tornado threat up into parts of central to eastern Arkansas tomorrow as well. We'll keep you updated on Facebook. We're basically we went off here just looking at the severe weather for the next few days. And then tornado threats kind of died down through parts of Louisiana here. But straight line winds, 60, 70, maybe even 80 mile per hour at times, coming in through eastern parts of Louisiana, heading into western Mississippi through the next few hours. Monroe, you're going to get hit with this Boeing segment of storms be coming up towards that way. Very heavy rain across northern parts of the state. 2 to 4 inches of rain have already fallen across Shreveport, with more falling right now. And that's just going to continue across the northern parts of the state as this mesoscale low just kind of just spins around and continuously produce heavy rain across the area. All right, stay weather aware. We'll have more updates on Facebook in the morning. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Have a way to get warnings. Have a great rest of your night.